the beginner video, we learned how to use predicate logic to describe what a thing is. The coffee cup is hot, Aristotle is wise, the sky is blue. These are one-place predicates. They describe single things, one slot at a time. If you need a refresher, you can learn the basics here. But logic needs to say more than just what something is. It needs to describe how things connect to each other. For that, we need relational predicates. And once we start connecting things, we also have to juggle stacked quantifiers. So stay tuned. By the time we're done, you'll be reading and writing sentences like this with the effortless cool of Keanu Reeves. Meet Kurt. Kurt is friendly. And also Kurt is easygoing. But what if we wanted to say, Kurt likes? But Kurt likes what? Or who? Well, Kurt likes Alice. Notice, the order matters. If we switch these, we get Alice likes Kurt. And let's hope both sentences are true. It just makes for a nicer world. Or consider, Alice is taller than X. We need a quantifier to make sense of X. If we use the universal, we end up with, for all X, Alice is taller than X. Alice is taller than everything. Which is kind of weird, not really something we would say. So let's narrow it down. For all X, if X is a garden gnome, then Alice is taller than X. Alice is taller than all garden gnomes. This is a good time to remind you that in the universal domain, if you're talking about somebody or everyone, you have to specify that. There is an X, such that X is a person, and Lyle admires X. Lyle admires somebody. But if we don't include the P for person, we would just have, there's an X, such that Lyle admires X. Lyle admires something. Now we're ready for reflexive sentences. You see, sometimes a relation points right back at the same individual. For example, this guy here seems pretty frustrated with himself. Let's call him Joe. Now take a second. How would you symbolize Joe is frustrated with himself? The solution is surprisingly simple. Joe is frustrated with Joe. Yep, it's that easy. It works with quantifiers too. There is an X, such that X is a cat, and X is scratching X. Some cat is scratching itself. It's time for the final boss battle. Overlapping quantifiers. Sometimes we stack quantifiers like this. But first, another quick detour. We've been assuming the universal domain, that all X means literally everything. Galaxies, cities, pine trees, ladybugs. But using a restricted domain is sometimes more convenient. It allows us to zoom in and say, let's only talk about people. In that case, all X means for every person, and there is an X means there is some person. A restricted domain makes messy sentences manageable. For example, if we do not restrict the domain to just people, for every X, X is trolled by some Y would have to include hamsters, and hamsters aren't on Twitter. So going forward, let's use a restricted domain and assume the domain is people. That will help us simplify things, and it keeps the hamsters out of it. Back to overlapping quantifiers. X loves Y. Here we have two different variables, so two quantifiers are needed to make sense of them. Let's use the universal for both. For all X and for all Y, X loves Y. Since we've restricted the domain to just people, this says, everyone loves everyone. Serious 1960s energy. This time you try. Pause the video and translate, everyone loves someone. Got it? Start with X loves Y. X is doing the loving, and who is X? Everyone. So make sure X gets a universal quantifier. Y is getting the love, but who's Y? Someone. So that requires the existential. End result? For all X, X loves some Y. Everyone loves someone. Here's another. Pause the video and give it a try. Can you read it? For some X, X loves Y. And who's Y? Everyone. Someone loves everyone. I guess this would be a saint of some kind. Okay, last one. Someone is loved by everyone. Think Keanu Reeves. Up to now, the x has always come first in both the quantifiers and the two-place predicate. But here, we need to cross things up. We put x first in the quantifiers, but look, second in the predicate. The quantifiers tell us how to read the sentence, and since there is an x comes first in the stack, we go look for it. And here, x is not doing the loving. X is the one being loved. Loved by whom? By y. And y is everyone. The result? Some x is loved by all y. In plain English, someone is loved by everyone. Well done, Keanu.